Hey there, welcome back to the virtual table. We're getting ready to start age 2 here. Um, the one thing that's supposed to happen in between the ages is, and a couple things I did wrong. These marriages on fire, they cause a loss of points. And then when you go between ages, they score points for all their royal marriages, but then they lose one. Everybody does. Or they can pay to keep it. There's a bit of a back and forth going on there. I don't think it's on this player aid. It is not, but it's up here. So, first of all, in the normal section, when you're scoring prestige, these are all the ways you score points, which I'm pretty sure we gave Saxony its 3 points. Sure doesn't look like it though, does it? Yeah, so they're supposed to score 3 points because of the Catholic nations. Because there's 2 green. And maybe I did give it to them, and I apologize. They just seem to have like a really low score. But when we get to we're going to do this part in a second, but that's not what I'm looking for. We're looking for the section where it would be right here, prestige penalties. Flip over all marriages that display their fire side. Each player loses 3 points. A player may avoid this, excuse me, if they're the only player realm to have an alliance or vassal in the capital realm with the fire on it. And they also have the most cubes if it's an NPR. So for example, Austria has fire. They have the most cubes. So this is where it gets tricky, because the only PR to have an alliance or, now see, they both have alliances. So it's out. So both Austria and Poland are going to lose 3 points because the marriage was on fire. So 1, 2, 3 coming down, and then Poland is back to 0, and Denmark is still way up in the lead. Okay, so that was that piece. The next piece is we go to the end of age. So a lot of this is just preparing the event deck, resetting the milestones, which we do need to do. Add any ideas that become eligible, then replace. See how it says replace? So like I keep saying, our house rules are we don't ever replace, we add. Because we see no harm in having more ideas on the board. And then it says the player with the least prestige may replace a new idea or milestone. And then the players with at least one marriage in play score 1 point and must then remove one of their marriages from the board, from an NPR if possible, or pay 2 to avoid it. And because they always choose the first option, they just remove. Like they wouldn't pay the 2. And if the player removes their marriage from your realm, you must still remove another, blah, blah, blah. I don't have any marriages, so I'm not worried about that. So, but Austria does. Poland does. Just 1 point. Who else has a marriage? I'm looking. Oh, I do have a marriage. So I do gain a point. I totally forgot about the whole Portugal thing. We already took care of these 2. Poland actually has more than 1 marriage. Muscovy has a marriage. I mean, it's sort of like you have to just eyeball everything. And Denmark had marriages, but they absorbed them all. Looks like there's a marriage here for Saxony. So they get 1. but now everybody loses one. So I'm either going to lose one or pay 2 cubes. I do have a lot of cubes. If I got enough on here, I think I can even subjugate them. I just have to have enough cubes on there. Equal to your target's tax base plus any opponent to vassalize your ally. With a marriage, I just need to have a tax base greater than the target. I mean, I really could. The problem is like their tax base, you can see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 tax base. I have double that even without a marriage. So I'm okay with losing the marriage. I don't think I need to spend 2 cubes to keep it. Although I will tell you that putting a marriage back on is going to be next to impossible. I'm just a little afraid, so I'm going to spend the 2 cubes to keep it. All right, they're going to lose their marriage. Poland has to lose one of them, and this is the lowest tax base, so we're going to lose that one. This really hurts Austria to lose that marriage, but they're going to. I don't think France has any. Castile. Oh, Castile has one. We got to give them the point. Oh, they had one too. And then we're going to remove this one. All right, so this goes, bear with me, I got to do a lot of moving around the board here. This goes to the orange player. Green. Purple's up here. White. And Spain. I'm not sure I understand the thematic reason for this. I guess, you know, over time, marriages dissolve. I guess. But it is what it is. This does reset, like it said. So I'm just going to take these and put them off to the side. So technically, H1 is done. So we deleted all those. So now we take H2. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the lowest point player, which is Poland, could choose to either replace one of these or replace one of these. The problem is none of these benefit the NPRs at all. So there's no rhyme or reason for them to want to replace one. Now, someone like us, humiliate a rival. Very likely not going to happen by me. Religious unity. All main map areas of your realm must follow your state religion at the end of H2. This one stinks because I have to wait until the end of H2 to score it, and that means that the bots are going to score it left and right. And then same with like this one's doable, and this one's probably the most doable. And because we're going to H2, there's a couple more things we still need to do. So I said that we were going to add another row. Like this one's helpful. You get to draw 4 cards instead of 3. I mean, for me, drawing the cards is critical. So, you know, this is why me spending those 2 cubes hurts, because I could put 5 cubes on this and get this one. That's a really helpful one for me. I still want to get cannons at some point, because being able to siege using cannons lets you siege those large cities, no problem. But there's another thing I realized that we need to do. We're at a new era. So with this particular bot, we moved to era 2, and the cards are already pre-done by the game. So that whole nonsense I did of preparing the decks, I wasn't paying attention to the fact that we moved to a new area. Now, if you try to delete these, it screws up, so you just gotta move them all off to the side. And remember, this only works for the bots that were set up by the game. So like, for example, this bot here, you don't want to do that with. So we have all the cards in here, but now we need to look at the sheet and see that for age 2, 10, 11, 12, and 17 need to be removed. So here's 11, here's 12, here's 10, because those were removed the first time, and then 17 is the new one. Okay, so these are out for age 2, and then he's ready for age 2, right? So same deal here. Let's look at what needs to be removed. 10, 11, 12, and 14. So you can see 12, 11, 10. So 3 of those. And somewhere in here is 14. This is the new one being removed. I'm having a hard time. Oh, it's a Papalcuria action, which for the Persian player makes total sense. Right? And then similar here. 8, 18, 19, 22. There's 18. So they're getting a whole mix of new cards. There's 8. Here's 22. I think 19 is the one I'm looking for. There it is. So it's interesting because some of these are focus cards. All right, now we have Denmark, who 10, 11, 12, and 20. So 12 is still out, 11 is still out, and 20. So we need to find 10. There it is, so they lose a naval card. All right, they're good to go. We're still dealing with special cards here. So 4, 10, 11, and 12. It's the same 4. So it's going to all be in this deck here. So here's 12, 11, 10. Oh, where's the 4? We've been playing with the wrong cards removed here. Interesting. Oh, I looked at the wrong side. It's 6, 10, 12, and 22. Ten, 12, 6. I'm having a hard time seeing it, but 22 is in here somewhere. Here it is. Sorry about that. So it helps to look at the correct area. This one, a lot simpler. Just merge it all, bring in bot deck 2. I do like the idea of having the 4 bot decks, because yeah, you can just, like, I'm literally just throwing these cards away. I don't have to sort through them. I just grab my new deck, shuffle, shuffle. And like I said, the concept of throwing them away, oh, this is another new one, so we don't want to do that. Let's see, for Muscovy, 8, 9, 10, and 14. Eight, 9, 10. And where's 14? Papocuria makes sense. And then shuffle, shuffle. All right, so now I think we're finally able to start age 2. We got all the bots up to speed here. And I'm going to take a quick pause, and I'll be right back. Okay, so obviously to recap the situation, we're in the middle of the pack. I mean, I guess we have the mean, but not the, well, yeah, we have the mean, but not the median. How about that? So we have an average score compared to the, the outliers, but we're above median because median would be closer to here. So there's more people behind us than in front of us. Denmark is clearly leading the way. Some of this is smoke and mirrors because Denmark was able to easily get 6 points from absorbing nations that were very easy to absorb. So you take 6 points away from Denmark, I mean, they're back to where everybody else is. So all that to say is that everything is catchable. Most of the points in this game are caused through the milestones, some through the ideas, and a lot of this other stuff we're doing is just protecting our tax base, which doesn't get you points. And so it's an interesting thing about this game is that the points do tend to come from very specific sources. Now, with that said, our goal is we still want to absorb Scotland. We eventually want to declare war on the Irish areas. And I thought for sure I had a claim here. Like that was the outcome of one of my, or maybe I never completed it. This one here. I still have yet to levy the troops. So once I do levy the troops, I can put a claim on Ireland and take it out. But that hasn't happened because we've been dealing with rebels so much. Okay, we're looking at the situation here. And there's some bad ones for us in terms of killing our advisors. But our guy isn't here. Although we do have two really nice ones for us to take because the advisor would be nice to have. And then, of course, there's 4 cards that could potentially be ours also buried in there. We have our subjugate card, so we can take care of Scotland right away. And the most important thing is we want to get some ships out here to expand our trade power and to get some exploring in, because we've been dilly-dallying there, and we got to get colonists up, which, by the way, we have one from in between the rounds. So we got to get the colonists up, and we want to start getting North America. I want this North America trade node to start making us some money. The North America trade node has come out quite a few times. Just to try to find one here. So like that could pay 22 ducats for an expanded trade node. Well, this is a gold one. That's a special one. I'm trying to preserve the order here. But yeah, we're going back quite a bit. So anyways, long story short, we want to make some money. And so those are two primary goals. And then, of course, by making the trade money, we could accomplish some points. We got to get at least 15 ducats, though. That's a big deal. And then we do have to convert and get rid of this diverse faiths nonsense. So yeah, there's quite a few things. We have a truce with France, so this is preserved for a bit longer. And yeah, we want to get our tax base up. We want to get out of debt, expand, and explore. Those are our goals. We will be spending cubes to either increase our stability or to grab stuff out of here. That one that I in particular want to grab is going to cost me 5 cubes, but then I won't have anything left for exploring. So there's a bit of a trade-off there. Okay, first player marker does move to me. So I am first for this round. And since I have my 4 cubes, I don't want anything in the game to interfere with my plans. So I'm going to pay 1 cube to play. Oh, I'm sorry. Back. We get to draw 3 cards. So I'm going to draw an admin card first. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to draw another admin card. Also a good one. And it would maybe be nice to get a subjugate card, but if we grab it from the discard pile, we're going to eventually need a military card because our advisor is going to die. I just don't know if I want to grab one now. This advisor is going to die as well. I mean, I technically have one here. So I can go for a military one because I want a military advisor. Yeah, let's try it. Hopefully we get a good advisor. And we do. Excellent. That was a plan that worked out. And I already kept the 6 ducats out on the last video, so I don't have to pay. I just never took the 6 ducats. Okay, now it's our turn. And yes, there's some great ones here, but I still want to do the subjugate card first. So I will pay my 1. And these 4 come off the board. And I have to be mindful because the and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's going to be and then these 4 cubes go away. But that is an excellent upgrade right there. And if I can ever core something, which you need a card to do, this would be the area I would core. And of course, we still got to take care of this as well. Which, by the way, requires 2 admin and 3 ducats. All right, so that was a great first move. Doesn't help us with our milestones, but or missions, but yeah. Saxony. All right, they're going to do diplomacy. That's the one we would have drawn. That would have been a bad one. Okay, so they're doing diplomacy. And they had a marriage here. But they have 2 cubes, and what they're going to do is, and there's already 2 other cubes. So, They're going to add a 5th cube and an alliance. Was there just no cube in here? There wasn't. So they can grab a cube from somewhere else. I'm having a lot of lag. See, they already had an alliance here, but they don't have 2 cubes. Hold on. Which one would they have done first? It's not adjacent to them. So they would have skipped it. It would have been this one. Yeah, because they're not adjacent, this is just not going to be a thing. So I'm going to just steal cubes from them. And this is a better way for them to expand. If they can get Bohemia to join them, that'll help immensely. All right, Persia. We have a convert, which they are going to do. And they're going to get 2 points for that. And the convert, of course, is they got to get rid of this diverse faith. And then I got to pay attention. The Ottomans and France has to defend. Okay, Morocco. They're going to do the event right away. I did shuffle, right? Yes. That means they're just doing the second card, which is this one. So 2 there. 2 there. 1. 1. And 1. And these 3 move over. Okay, so they're choosing. All players must choose. Accept their rightful claims. Lose 3 points. Ignore their demands. Add unrest to 2 of your towns. You gain 1 point for every player who chooses the same as you. So they're, of course, going to lose 3 points. 10 other bots are going to choose the same thing. So every bot loses 3 points, but he's going to gain 10 points because the 10 other bots are going to choose the same. So he's actually going up 7 points. And then I got to decide if he's going to go up an 8th point or not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll put it off to the side. Quit being a jerk. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I am also going to lose the 3 points, which gives him yet another. And then we roll rebel dice. So I'm going to start with mine. I have 1 rebel die here and 1 rebel die there. We'll do the Northumbria first. Come on, go good. Exhaust a manpower. And then the one in my area. That means I lose a troop. So, not good, but it happened. Castile has 3. They're going to lose a cube. One of them is going to flip right, and one of them is going to rebel. We have Morocco.
They're going to lose a cube. I'm just trying to move things so they're more consistent with where I expect them to be. France has 2. They lose 1 cube. Saxony has 3. They lose a cube. They get a rebellion. Just moving along here. Denmark has 2. Austria has 1. Man, lots of rebellions going on. Poland has 1. And yeah, this army is not on the board. Nobody's army is on the board when they're at peace, when they're a bot. So if you ever see one out there, it's just a mistake on my part. And then also, they weren't at war this last round, so these truces are gone between them. That was part of the cleanup from last round we were supposed to do. Okay, Muscovy has none. The Ottomans have 1. Lose a cube, and then Persia has 1. Persia gets a free flip. Okay, all that was because of his event. Now we move to Denmark. They are doing diplomacy. 3 cubes, eh? Denmark had 4 unrest. So they do flip one of them. All right, I don't see cubes anywhere because they just absorb the Teutonic Knights. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll against their Diplo chart. And we got a 3, which is Norway. Now we have a 5, which is Scotland and Skane. And now we're rolling a 1, which is Lower Saxony. So Lower Saxony is this area. That makes sense. They do have a claim in here. This is the biggest area. So what they're going to do is they're going to spend 1 cube and 1 alliance on them. So that'll encourage them to absorb in that area. Okay. Mamluks also doing diplomacy. Unless there was some thing that I'm missing here. Nope, the diplomacy's right. I think I forgot to roll for them. Alright, so they would have lost 1 cube. Again, just positioning. See, this is the way I like to have it. All right, so they're doing diplomacy. They only have one cube, one cube, one cube, one cube. I don't see any alliances. So we're going to roll against their chart. We have a 6, which takes them to Cyprus, which they already have. Then a 2 takes them to Tunis. All right, so we're going to grab one cube and an alliance token. And they're going to do an alliance with Tunis, which we'll put the stuff right there. Okay. That was them. So now let's move to Austria here. Oh, when you go between ages, this refreshes too. They don't get to keep these. Because this is like their chance at getting the milestones, which have now reset. Why is it not letting me pick these up? Sorry about that. Okay. Austria. It makes you cringe every time you see Austria do a military action. Because it makes their imperial authority go down. So let's see what they're going to do. I don't know if they have any claims out there, but we'll roll 3. They do have one claim. So military action, well, actually, I back up. They have a revolt, so they need to do that. But a military action does make sense because I'm backtracking. They do need to kick people out of the HRE, like defend the HRE. The part where the military action doesn't make sense is if they're declaring war on Bavaria, for example, it's stupid. But in this case, they have to do a defend. So we put that back and put this back. And that's the defend. And then this is the recruit. Right? And then they come out on the board and they're going to do battle right here. My goodness. All right. And that's just one army. That does hit them, so they lose a manpower, but they get a cube for winning the battle, and there they are. Poland. And I totally forgot I got to remember to check for those things, but Poland is fine. So let's go ahead and see what they're going to do. They're also doing a military. Roll for their claims. I don't think they have a 5 claim out there. We have claim 1. Oh, there it is. Claim 5. So they're declaring war on Bohemia. So this is where it gets interesting. So they declared a war on Bohemia. Bohemia is allied with Saxony. So that means they're now at war with Saxony. But this is also a part of the HRE, so they're now at war with Austria as well. So now I gotta grab one from Saxony and one from Austria. I grabbed the wrong type, but let me just drop them, put that back. So Poland they're at war with 2 bots and the NPR. And on top of that, since Austria is representing the HRE, they actually get a temporary, I think it's 4. I got them right here. They get 4 of these that join them in their army. So good luck, Poland. But Poland is declaring war. They're going to spend their 1, recruit all their troops, and they're going to come out and they will plop themselves right here because that's who they declared war on with their claim. And Bohemia is a 2 province size. This is 3. This is 4. They're a 4 strength nation. So let's see if they get a general. They do get a general who's going to roll 2 cannon dice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And they only hit on infantry. So we got 1. I think there's a second one here. So 2 hits, which is a lot on Poland, but Poland does get a cube for winning the battle. And now let's be really clear about something. This does not trigger a defense from Austria or Saxony. Even though it's an ally that's being occupied, that does not trigger defense action. A defense is guaranteed they're going to move in and strike. But that's not the case here. So they do have to get a military card that forces them to go and engage the enemy. So it is possible Poland will sneak something by them. All right, Muscovy. Unrest, which I don't think they have any. So now they're going to spy. So they'll spend 2 cubes. And remember, a 1 to 3 is points. 4 through 6 is tax base. So they're choosing to go after the points leader, which I think is Morocco now. Yeah, because Denmark fell backwards, so it's Morocco. So they're going to take Morocco and just flip 2 in their highest tax region. So they're just going to get some extra unrest. It's about time. All right, now we're to the Ottomans, who have to defend. And then 1, 2. They're going to come on the board and go here. So they're going to roll the 1 die. Doesn't even do any damage. They get a cube for winning the battle. They're done. France, same deal. Defend. 1, 2. I guess you could argue they're not going to spend the 2 because they had enough troops already. So they wouldn't waste cubes like that. Tertios just means that even though it looks like this, it's that side. So they do lose 1, but they get a cube for winning the battle. Castile, same deal. They're going to defend. Going to assume they don't need to recruit. They're going to go here. Roll 1 die. Gain a cube for winning the battle. Now it's back to us. All right, so we're okay. I mean, I'm still a far cry from getting my army recruited. What I would like to do is, see, I'm low on money. So I got this, I have revolutionary ideas. And I would like to use that to get the thing that lets me draw the extra trade cards, because I think that would be very helpful. Exceptional Year lets me remove an unrest and gain 9 ducats, which will help me to purchase the ships that I need to do the stuff I want to do. So I'm going to do Exceptional Year first. And we're going to pay 2 cubes. And I'm going to get 9 ducats. Now, you could argue I could get rid of a debt. But I'm going to accumulate some money here, because right now I have 12 ducats, which is going to let me buy 3 ships. I want to buy 3 ships and plop them all right here in A and B. Or Caribbean Sea and North Atlantic, and then do some exploration and have some trade power. That's what I want to do. I want to get the trade power up, so if I draw in North America, I'm going to get the higher tier. So first thing I had to do was that, and it lets me remove an unrest, which I will remove from Northumberland, and so now I just have one more to contend with. And yeah, I know that it seems anticlimactic, but that was a good move. And I need more turns. That's all I'm saying. I don't want people passing. So now we get to Saxony, who is at war. And I think they even have a revolt. So yes, they have to defend. So they would spend 1 and then 2 to get their 3 troops out. I hate it when it does that. All right, and then this guy comes out, and they're defending their own territory first. They have Nuremberg, who's still in their area, so they don't even completely control their area yet. But yeah, let's roll. No damage. Gain a cube for winning the war. They don't siege yet. So the biggest thing for me is I got to remember, okay, who's doing what here. Persia, for example, is just fine. So we're going to just take an action for them. They're doing a diplomacy, which is always dangerous because they get to do a million things. Let's see where they have alliances. They do have 1 with 3 cubes. So yeah, they're going to absorb. I think they're going to take all this back. So they're going to get to put out 1, 2, 3, I think 4. There's 1, 2, and 3. So it's just 3. So we'll take this back, but they lost 3 cubes, so that cube stays. Yeah, so Persia just got a bit stronger. The bots make it look too easy. They really do. But they also score 3 points. So there's a big source of points for them. Okay. I had to pause for a bit there. So now we're doing Morocco, Polo, Morocco, Polo. 1. They're flipping 2 back. Denmark. Another diplomacy. Oh man, this is where it gets bad. So they don't have enough cubes, so they would add 2 more. I don't know what happens after this. Let's check. I just know I get exhausted with this diplomacy action. So, do they have double the base? Did they have enough? No. Free space, yes. They added 2 cubes. No alliance. They're going to roll for royal marriage. They rolled a 3, which is they put a marriage on the target, and they're done. Next time it happens, they're absorbing them. Because they got everything they need to absorb. Okay, Mamluks do an event unless there's like a revolt or something, which there isn't. So we're going to roll for them. This means that they're going to try to do their own, and if that doesn't exist, they're going to take the first one. They would do an opponent if they were at war with them. Their own does exist, so they're going to take this one, which means 2 more, 2 more, and 2 more, and 1, 1, and 1. These are going to move over. Next card is a French card, so there's 2 left. All right, so they're choosing their own, a common enemy. They're going to support Kem Sultan's claim. Mamluks may exhaust 3 manpower and pay 6 ducats to add 2 unrest and 3 rebels to an Ottoman area. Ottomans gain a claim in a Mamluk area. You gain 1. Well, they for sure gain 1. They're going to spend 1 because they have to pay ducats. They're going to lose 3 manpower, which is like nothing to them. And then it's going to do what? 2 unrest and then 3 rebels in an Ottoman area. Then Ottomans gain a claim. So I'm going to assume it's an Ottoman area that's... It didn't say next to them, so it's just any Ottoman area. So here's where it gets interesting. Per the rules, you pick the highest tax base, which would be 2, 4... I'm sorry, this is not the same. This is 3. This is 2, 4, 5. So I would flip 2 here, put rebels there. Yes, it's a problem, blah, blah, blah. They'll go and defend them. If I was really trying to be smart about it, I would do these ones, because if the rebels win, these get liberated. Like, they literally lose the towns. Here, the towns, well, actually, they would lose this one. All right, yeah, this makes sense. So they're going to flip 2. And 1, 2, 3 come out. That's definitely, going to give the Ottomans a little bit of... It's going to keep them busy. But yeah, I mean, the Ottomans should be able to handle it. They do gain a claim. The Ottomans do. And this is the part that's interesting, because it's encouraging them to start declaring war on each other. So I'm going to put the claim right here. Kurdistan. K is before T. I'm not going to call this their area. Although you could. K is still before R. And then this is too far away. So we want to at least be next to where they are. Oh, it's Mamluks. It's not Persia. It's Mamluks. So it's for sure going to be here. Karaman. Sorry about that. All right, yeah. That's the whole point of having those bots there, is they're going to mess with each other. All right, Austria is defending. And they already won their battle, so they're going to take this off, which is going to flip, because they're liberating a core. And so that was a size 2 province. So they do lose 2 cubes to do that. All right, and then we move to here. So they're going to siege 3 tax worth of stuff, which includes a big and a small. This province is getting very busy, but we got to do it. So the big will go here, and then the small will go here. There's still one more to siege, but it's happening. Muscovy. Military. Boy, they're heating up, these guys. So they have a claim on Kazan still. I mean, technically that Kazan's not here anymore. So this claim would have gone away. They have no claims anywhere. But I know for sure they want to defeat a whole bunch of stuff. But let's roll. Because wherever they roll, that's where the claim's going to go. I'm trying to find... Okay, here it is. It's a 2. Owner of Neva. Which should be... Yeah. So what that does is that puts a claim on Novgorod. And I'm going to put it specifically on Neva. Alright, so that's their turn. And we probably should make sure that that really is their turn. Sometimes I get a little too confident that I know what they're doing here. So they did the military. They're not at war. There's none. They did the military chart. Targets an opponent, no. It has less than 4, yes. Is their strength greater than double the bot strength? That's the bot strength is 6, 7, 8. And the strength of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Answer is no. Okay, they declare war. Yeah, that's the part I was missing. So I should not have been so quick about it. So they'll spend 1 cube to recruit. And they will, I don't know where I put their army. I had it there. Yeah, they're definitely not at war with Volga anymore. But they're at war with Novgorod. And Neva was the target, so I'm going to move them into here first. Even though they probably would go here. But Neva was the target. They do lose this cube. And they would fight 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strength. And with 3 cavalry. Holy buckets. All right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got to pay attention to all this. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. That's a lot of hits. But they do survive it, and they get a cube. And yeah, Novgorod's gonna fall. Okay, so Ottomans are gonna siege, which I think it's just a size 1 town. So that's done. That's their whole turn. Then next time they'll go take care of this stuff. I don't think... I mean, it would be crazy if they are under attack. So technically they would defend before they would siege, which I think is stupid. And then with defend, is there an area with invaders? Yes. And an area where it can siege provinces? The answer is yes. Then they're rolling a die to see if they go after the invaders or if they siege. So I guess technically I just basically rolled a 1 to 4 for them. But see, they rolled a 6, which means they would not do the siege. And instead they would go after the invading force. I really don't like that move, but what they did instead is they went here. So they didn't spend the cube. They came here, and now they're fighting 3 rebels who does not have a general. All right, so 3 of their army units die, and they gain a cube, and they got rid of the rebels. So now they'll have to do a defend again, and go back over here, and they have to do another battle again. That's what I'm talking about. Like they abandoned the siege, came over here, and now they got troops again. So now they're going to go back and fight a second time. But they are going to get a bunch of free cubes and all that jazz, so I guess I shouldn't feel too bad for them. France is sieging, and it's a capital, so that's 2 cubes, and they get rid of their rebels. Castile is also sieging. It's going to be 1 cube. They get rid of their rebels. Saxony is going to siege and get rid of their rebels. They are at war, but right now they're taking care of their business. Moving to Persia. I believe we're drawing a card for them. And they're doing diplomacy again. They only have cubes in 2 spaces, so we're going to roll. We rolled a 1, which is this Koyonlu thing again. This is the one they just absorbed. We went through this already. We played this game. So now they're rolling a 3, which is Circassia. I wish I knew my realms over here better. Which one is Circassia? This one. All right, yeah, that makes sense. So they have no cubes or anything. So they're going to put 3 cubes out and an alliance. Because that's the way it always works. So they put 2 cubes out, then they check to see if they can do an alliance, and they say yes, and then they put an alliance down. That makes the sense. They're trying to expand. Morocco. Convert. Which I think they got to do. Yes, to get rid of this. And anytime a bot converts, they get 2 points. And that cost them 1 cube. Denmark. 1 more card. Diplomacy again. And I think they're going to pull the trigger. Yes, they are. It's a 2 province, so 2 cubes go away. Oh my goodness. So they get one of these. So their manpower is plus 10. Guess we could put it here. So one of these comes out, and then what we do is we grab all 20 of these, hit 2, pay attention to where it double bunched, and then, so now they technically have a tax income of 21 and a manpower of 11. They are now the leader in tax income, that's for sure. Oh, I just dropped my mouse. Okay. Why is it that I feel like I skipped my turn? When we came through, they did their thing, and then it got to us. What did we do? I know we played that card, but how did we get all the way down to these guys? Because I feel like we did this, and then we just went straight to them, after them. So my apologies. I think I'm supposed to take a turn in here. Because I did not do anything on my turn. Because that, this was last round. Or last spin around. So it doesn't, we don't need to retcon anything. It's just, I think I skipped my turn. And that's crazy because it's nothing I want to do more than my turn. So yes, I do want to buy 3 light ships, which is going to cost me a military action. And I have to put them for example, I need to put ships here because I lost my connection. So I'm putting all 3 of them, I think, here. And I know I have 2 of them there, but I want to move them out to here. But I don't think I can do that all in one swoop. So when I do an explore action, I can always move one of these out. And the explorer does take military cubes, which I have hardly any of. So that is a problem. Anyways, I spend my 12 ducats to do that. Okay. I at least have the ability to do a trade action restored. And I got to get that in. Okay, back to the Mamluks now. They're doing diplomacy. I don't even remember what they're doing. They got the Tunis thing going. They have 2 cubes and an alliance, so they're going to spend 1, 2 more. Because Tunis is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strength. So this is not enough cubes. And then I think they do the check for military or marriage. So one is they're going to put 2 more cubes. They're not going to do the marriage thing. So now they got 5 cubes in that area. All right, Austria. Well, I got to check. Did they? Yeah, they sieged. So they draw their military. And that causes this to happen. So military, they're at war. So that does cause them to engage Poland. So they're moving in and engaging Poland here. And yeah, there's a battle that's going to happen. They do not gain extra cubes. Neither does Poland. So it's we'll do Austria first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They do 3 hits. Poland. No hits. Oh my goodness, Poland. Austria. Poland. So they did 2 hits, but only one of that gets through. And we always take out this one, the mercenaries first. And yeah, they're wiped out. So Austria does get a cube for winning that battle. And these guys are off the map. It's now their turn. They are at war, but they didn't draw a military card. So they have provinces under siege. Now, I do have to check the language. So yeah, well, that's the military action. Sorry. We got to get back to this. Is under attack by enemies or rebels. Bot is considered under attack if there's enemy units with bot towns. So it doesn't mean you own them. So they have towns there because they're occupied. So the answer is yes, they're defending. So they're going to do 1, and then 2, and then boom, this is happening. And what they do is they come on the board. They don't engage, though. Not yet. Muscovy is at war, so they are currently... There's 1, 2, 3 in this area. So I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3. And I know I've been a little lazy about this, but you technically do this. I don't know why it's being so stubborn. And then technically those are occupied as well, but it's just so much busyness there. Bohemia is like ground zero for European conflict right now. Ottomans, like we said, now they're going to do a defend action. They still have plenty of troops, so they're just going to walk over, battle again. They do lose 1, but they gain a cube for winning the battle. And then we move on. France is now going to draw. They're doing a military. So we're going to roll for claims. They rolled a 2, which is here. The problem is they have an alliance with the only area that's there. So actually, when they won the battle, they would have cleared those by removing the claim. When they won the war, I mean. So claim 2, it does not exist. But see, they have these areas. So the answer is yes. They're going to place a claim there. And they're going to check, and then they're going to go to war. I have to remind myself that they're going to do that. So like the whole Burgundy thing, when they put this claim here, because of this token, I think they would have declared war on Burgundy. And so I'm going to use that opportunity to say, yes, they're doing that now. So now France is at war with Well, they're at war with Burgundy. Since Saxony's already at war, they will decline the alliance. They'll break the alliance. And I got to figure out what happens when they do that, because this is pretty rare. But they will not join another war if they're already at war, especially against player realms. So what happens when you break an alliance? It might be on the back of our card. Let's see how useful this is. In a defensive call to arms, lose 2 points and remove 5 cubes from the area. That's going to be true for the bots. So 1, 2, 3 all gets removed. And yeah, Saxony's going to lose 2 points. All right. Sorry, I received a spam phone call there. All right, that's France. So France is going to also spend a cube. They will pony up. Their army was technically off the map, but now it's coming back on. And yeah, that's they're moving in here. So that's a 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5 strength province. This strength here doesn't get to add because it's more than a space away. So now they're going to check to see if they have, and they do, and it draws 2 more. So they're doing 7 infantry dice. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. But France does win. And this is where it would have been nice if that war would have happened instead of against me. But there's so many wars going on right now. Spain. Papalcuria. That does make them the new controller. So not a bad move for them. And then back to us again. Okay, I would like to do an explore action before I do a trade action so I can get one more trade ship out there. So yes, I'm going to do an explore action here, which requires both cubes. And with the explore action, I'm allowed to move at least one ship into the area, which I am doing right here. And it gives me an extra power. And then we're going to roll. A 1 is perfectly fine for us at the moment. And I'm going to go ahead and go right here on... I could go down here in Antilles, but I think I'm going to just make sure I'm connected with England. Up there. So now we got a second claim in place. And yeah, that's it. That's all that you get to do with that. Where is it? Explore. Yeah, so it's just a combo platter. Actually, I should be doing this, but I am out of money at the moment, so what I'm trying to do is set myself up so I can do a good trade action. But anyways, it's taking time. The Saxon response here, they do have unrest, so they are going to do this. Causes a military card to get discarded. And we're going to flip some unrest for them, which is actually really good. They're finally stabilizing a bit. Persia. Oops. Persia is doing an event. They rolled a 6, which means they want to take their own. I don't think their own is out here. So then they take the first one. They would take an opponent if they were at war. So that gets 2 more. It's going to get 1 more. That's truly going to be 3. This one becomes 3. That one becomes 2. That one does not become 1. Just one more left. And so far, ours is not out here. I am liking, like this Renaissance one, we can pay 3 admin if our realm's adjacent to Lombardy or Flanders or Wallonia, which we were. See, we're not anymore. Or, yeah, no, we never were, because we're over here. I mean, technically we're adjacent through C. So it doesn't say. Yeah, so I think it would qualify for us to research any idea or display or draw 3 action cards. You may then appoint Leonardo da Vinci, which would cost us 4. Now, that's a really nice one for us. But Jacob the Rich is also, it's probably not as nice, but it is good. We would gain 12 ducats and 1 debt for 1 thing. Or I can add 1 to 3 unrest in any Catholic areas. It doesn't have to be mine. The province owner gains 5 ducats. The papal controller gains 3. So this would be better if you were the papal controller. And then you have to add diverse faith to one of the area. So this is crazy because like you would want to pick your own because then you get the 5 ducats. Like you could create a whole bunch of unrest and then collect 15 ducats. Yeah, because I could pick 3 different areas, add 1 unrest to each area, and get 15 ducats. And then I have to add diverse faith to one of them. He's not as good as Da Vinci, but he would still cut the mustard. And yes, that 15 ducats would pay off all my debts. So, now the interesting thing about this one is you gain 12 ducats, but that loan basically means that you're only getting 6 ducats. But it's 6 free ducats. But I don't think you get to recruit him. Oh no, it says you may then. So you could do either. Yeah, both of them are decent. Right, whose turn was that? That was Persia, and I need to fix this. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, Persia did an event. And then I know one of these guys did. Pink did an event. I could have sworn that we did 3 of them. Let's check. Yeah, the Mamluks. That was the pink. Somebody else did an event. It was this one. Oh, that was the Moroccans, because they scored a ton of points. Yep, that is true. So 3 people have done events so far. Okay, now we're to Morocco. So they don't do Papal Curia, but they will spy. And the winner is definitely Denmark. So Denmark's going to get 2 unrest. It would be their... This is worth 3. That's only 2. That's 3. So they would do these 2. Denmark is doing an event. So let's not forget to do this. They are taking the 3rd card, which is crazy because they have their own event card right here. But they're doing this one, which means 2 more money here, 2 more there, 1 here, and 1 there. This one also gets 1. Then these 3 get nothing. Last card is the Russian card. So what did they miss out on? Well, this adds 5 unrest to Danish towns and 1 rebel per unrest added. And then Denmark gains a crap ton of cubes. But in Swedish core areas, 5 unrest to Danish towns that are in the Swedish area. Or if Denmark owns all Swedish cores, they may reject Hans I to play on as Sweden. If so, add 6 unrest to Jutland and put this on all Danish cores. Oh my goodness. So Denmark does own all Swedish cores, and they would choose to play on as Sweden. That means I would have to go grab all the Swedish event cards. Oh, that's not fun at all. I may force them to do A on this one because I don't want to do that. And why is this here? Did I grab an event that I oh, see, look, that's a Era 1 event. That should have been gone a long time ago. Okay. Who is doing this? Denmark. You gain 1. Increase. All right. So they gain 1. The Imperial Authority goes up by 1. That's pretty wild, actually. So that means another one of these comes out. Select 1 of 2 areas adjacent by land to the Emperor's realm, where there are towns and provinces which are not core provinces of their owners. Add unrest on 3 such towns in each of those areas, if possible. Distribute 6 unrest, or 6 rebels among those chosen areas, but maximum of 4 in a single area. If you're HRE member realm, exhaust 2 to gain 2. Adjacent by land to the Emperor's realm. So it's not the HRE, it's the Emperor's realm, where there are towns on provinces which are not core provinces of their owners. All right, so I mean, it would be this one, but the Emperor's already there. This one doesn't have towns yet. It's going to. This would be it, except they're not adjacent to the Emperor's realm. It's just here. Because the Polish towns are there. Okay, so then what happens? Maximum of 4 in a single area. And then the squares get damaged. All right, so this guy dies. We're just going to do 4 rebels attacking here because of the Polish towns. So they're going to draw for a general 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I see 1, 2, 3 hits. So Austria just lost all their marks. All right, fair enough. I mean, it does hurt another player, so Denmark, doing that does at least cause damage. All right, now we're to here. Convert. I think they do have a convert they need to do. They do. So we're going to go ahead and get this converted, which means 2 points for pink. Done. It does cost them 1 cube. Austria. That's 3 siege. Done. Poland. They're down to 1 cube, even though they're at war. So they're going to do an event. That means they want to do an opponent's event. They have the most points and the most tax power. They do not have the most points. But between everybody else, they have the most points. The ones to choose from. They have the highest tax power amongst everybody here. There's 3 choices. And they have the most, so they're choosing this one. So that means 2 more money goes here, and 2 more goes here, and 2 more goes here. And then this one becomes just 2. That one becomes 1. And then these 3 move over. Okay. I do not want to go through the trouble of converting them to Sweden. Adding 5 unrest to Danish towns and 1 per added and giving them all these extra cubes sounds wonderful. I mean, so normally they would do this and they would flip to Sweden. And then they would add 6 unrest to Jutland and unrest to all the Danish cores. So which is better? Do I give them A, which gives them a bunch of cubes that's going to let them fight this off? Or, I mean, technically the bots would choose B. And if we just make it so they stay as Denmark, and then we just give them 6 unrest, we give them a bunch of unrest and then 6 rebels. I mean, I think that would work. We just ignore the Swedish part. The other way is to, I mean, it gives them, this actually gives them less rebels to contend with, but it gives them a whole lot more unrest. So here's like the situation. These are the Denmark ones, right? So these 3 would flip. This one's already flipped. And that one would flip as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of them would flip. And then they would get 6 rebels, presumably in each of these areas. And then they would have to contend with it. And then there was supposed to be Sweden from here on out. Or you could argue that Sweden flips, and there's only 4 spots that would flip anyways, because the 3 Sweden spots already flipped. They would get a bunch of free cubes, 6 of them, in fact. And because of this, they would only get 4 rebels. Well, I hope everybody's cool with the idea that I'm not going to flip them to Sweden, but we're going to do this and then put 6 rebels out. Because I think that's closest to the spirit of taking B. And all 6 of them go into Jutland. So they don't go everywhere. But this will give them plenty to do. They have enough armies to just totally destroy these guys. Alright, so whose turn was that? That was Poland, in fact. So, well done, Poland. You're really messing with them. Muscovy is at war. So they have more than 4 cubes. They're going to keep drawing. They drew a military action, which is very cool. And that means that they're going to still fight. I think they should take the capital. They have these 2 that they can take. And then, of course, there's the capital. They're both the same tax base. HIJKLMNOP. So this is higher in alphabetical order. So, yeah, that whole alphabetical order thing, the fact that it works out so well is really insane. But anyways, they're moving up. They're fighting a 2 tax base army. They lose 2 armies. Oh. They would have spent 2 cubes to do this, and now they lose 2. They would have done that. Okay. Ottomans are now going to siege. Finally get rid of this. Mr. France is at war, so they're going to siege. So it's going to look like that. Castile. Doing an event. Where are you at? Now this is going to be interesting because the ones that we want are starting to fall into the realm of what they can roll. They rolled a 1 though, so they're taking this one, which is interesting because that's affecting them. So this whole set of money goes away, and I keep forgetting, when you choose things that have money, you grab a cube. So this moves over. So they do this and then add 2 more. This moves over. Gets 2 more. This gets 1 more. This gets 1 more. And then these 3 move over. Okay, so there's a lot of money on this. I'm probably going to take it. Just because the amount of money I'm going to get is fantastic. This one also has a lot of money, especially with the action here. Yeah, I mean, this one has a crap ton of money. The problem is you have to add unrest to your own provinces, and then you can pick other areas, and then you can research tolerance. I mean, it's okay. You would only choose this because of all the money you're going to get. But anyways, let's do this for Castile. The owner of Granada may pay 1 to gain a cardinal and make Andalusia Catholic. It's already Catholic, but they are going to pay 1. Well, and that 1 would become a cardinal. So that for sure they would do. Other PRs facing, and I know it's hard to see, but that's like a little cross or a dagger. Mark C zones must choose. Not our concern. Remove this, and that's what they would choose because it's the first option. But I want to see what else. This is a new event. Lose 1 stability and 1 cardinal. For free, research an idea and appoint an advisor from top 5 of discard deck. Very cool. And then they would do pirates. Pirates would go, they'd have to choose. They're choosing largest tax base, which is Denmark. So it would go here. That's the wrong dude. It would do that. Okay, so we got the pirate thing out of the way. So everybody that's in the this C zone is going to choose to remove. It's not their concern. And how do you know that C zone? It's actually written on here. So you can see Western Mediterranean has a little dagger or cross after it. Central Atlantic does not. So the first one that gets to do it is Morocco. So they get to remove 1 unrest. Next, the Gulf of Lyon, same deal. So Paris gets to do it. And then we keep going. Central Mediterranean is next to Mamluks, so they get to do 1. And then Eastern Mediterranean has it. So that means the Ottomans get to do it, and the Black Sea does not. They have an asterisk. So that's your, and then here you can see Austria gets to do 1. But Austria does not have any unrest, so it doesn't impact them. And because it doesn't impact them, when they make a choice, they could take a cube. All right, so that was Castile doing their event. Now it's our turn. And I was going to do the trade action because I've been building up to do it. But I think I'm going to take this before it's too late. So we're going to do Renaissance. And we get 2, 4, 6, we get 8 ducats, right? So I'm just going to move that down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 ducats and get rid of a debt. Nope, I can't do that. Never mind. I have to spend 4 just to hire the guy. So I'm gaining 8 ducats. I'm going to take 4. Paying off these debts is free. You don't have to be so aggressive. And so what does this do for us? Well, first of all, he's going to be my advisor. All players may then pay 3. I am adjacent by C. And so to research any idea or display or draw 3 action cards. 3 action cards sounds great, except I have to discard down to 5 if I don't spend them before the end of the round. So I am going to go ahead and spend 1, 2, 3. And we can go ahead and just grab 1. And I still have this revolutionary idea 1. So the original plan was to use the revolutionary idea to take this one. I think I'm going to use the revolutionary idea to take cannons, which I can't afford to do right now. But I'm going to take this one because this is the more important one for me at the moment. Although it does give me a cannon. This will give me 2 points. And it would have been nice if it let me do a free trade action, but it doesn't. So here we go. I'm going to take my 2 points. And then this guy moves down. I mean, putting the money on is not as important because the butts just get a cube. So it's going to look like that. But this was a great move. And the thing is, though, is everybody else gets to do this. They're going to pay 3 if they're next to Lombardy or Flanders, or they pay 4. And they're going to do it. So I'm going to actually cause the actions to drain up really fast here. So starting with Saxony, they're going to spend 4. And they're going to research 1. So I'm going to just put these here for now, and we're going to line them up, and then we'll figure out which ones they take, because it's remember, they're always going to take one that no one else took. So we can roll dice to figure out where they're going, but like right now, like he's just got these ones. Well, let's just do it now. So he rolled a 6, which is putting him over here. We don't need to roll again. So he's taking tertios for 2. All right, so then we got to do Persia. Persia will spend 4. And they're doing the same thing, right? So they're coming over here. They're going to take one that no one else took. And this gets even wilder, because since Saxony took that, they also go here and do this. So I got to pause real quick. Sorry, my son came home, so I've been gone for a bit, but I know we're still in mission here, and let's roll. So it's only the choice between these two, and since he rolled a 6, he's taking cabinet for 2. Right? And so we're going to just keep going, and everybody's spending the cubes, even if they're at war. So they're spending 4. I mean, these are point opportunities for them, so they definitely would do it. Okay, so now it's just a choice between these two. So 1, 2, 3 is on the bottom. So he's taking Inquisition. I never see it on the board. Here it is, 2 points. Then we go to the Mamluks, and they are also... None of these people are near Lombardy. The 2 places they have to be near is Flanders, which France is, or Lombardy, which is down here, which France is still next to that one. So the only ones getting the discount are Austria and France. Even Saxony doesn't get one. So anyways, they just paid their 4. And before I forget, we got to give them one. And they're taking whatever the last one is for 2 points. Now, at this point, yeah, they'll take ones that have already been taken. They can't afford it, so they can't do anything. Would they do the lower one? Yeah, they can't. They just can't do it. So they can't. And neither can they. So nothing there. The Ottomans can. But they do have to spend 4. This is what I mean. Like, this is accelerating the taking events and passing. But the Ottomans are for sure gonna... Where would it be? Would any of these? So we're back to, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's this column, and then I'm doing, I've been doing bottom up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna have to re-roll this. So it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they get 2, and then the Russians get 1. Excuse me. And then we're to France, who is for sure going to do this. But they only have to pay 3 cubes. Same deal. So a 4 and then a 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 1 is here. So France is going to get 2, and then Persia gets 1. And then last but not least, they do have to spend 4. It's a 4 and then a 6. Well, there's 4 of them. I guess I should be more careful. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 anymore. It's a 2, so they're going to go here. Persia, or I'm sorry, they get 2 points. Persia's going to get 1, and then France is going to get 1. So there you have it. All that was because of my event. And I need to remember to mark that I took my event. So now we go to Saxony's turn. They are at war. They still have more than 4 cubes left. And they do draw a military. So this is where it gets especially interesting, because they are on the board here. Poland is no longer there. So yes, they're moving into here to fight Poland with their 3 strength army. And then Poland has a 6 strength army. So let's do Poland first. So they just did 3 damage and wiped them out. And one thing I forgot to do is they just took all these items, but man oh man, we gotta Persia, for example, has now 1 Diplo and 1 military. So when you go over to the Persia thing, we have to represent that with 1 Diplo and 1 military. See? Like, we got to take care of that. So, like, Saxony has the military. So they actually roll 1 extra die here. And they took another military. Or we actually just did that. But that's their only one. And then Poland isn't out here at all. So we're good to go with that. So anyway, we just got to check that kind of stuff. So Saxony, at most, can do 3 damage, but they do 6 dice. And they do their 3 damage. But anyways, their turn is over, and their army got wiped. I mean, with Austria helping out here, I mean, between the 2 of them, they might actually be able to do a dent into Poland. I don't know. Persia, down to 1 cube. They're going to try to pass. And they will. So my action accelerated that. Morocco's got plenty of actions left. They're going to do a military. Roll for claim. That's claim 3. Claim 1. All right, so now they're going to roll. They rolled a 2, which is Granada. They already have a claim there, but that doesn't matter. What they're going to do is they are Castile. Do they have? Well, here. They're at this part here. Is the target strength greater than or equal to double the bot's strength? So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strength the butt has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer is no. So yeah, they're going to spend a cube and declare war. So we got another war that's triggering here. And they declared war on Castile. And the thing is this is like very natural. Like, these are the kind of wars you would expect in a game of EU4. So I mean, this is what I marvel at, is it's a really good design in that respect. So yes, then the army would come on and it would move through the sea, but we got some stuff to resolve. See, they have ships that they need to deal with here. And this is butt versus butt, which scenario I don't see very often. So butt versus butt. Each butt rolls its butt naval dice. 1 artillery plus 1 per adjacent butt ship. Plus 1 for diplomatic ideas. Each scores automatic hits from ports. Butt scoring the most hit wins. So it's not, hey, just because I got a hit, the ship dies. It's whoever has the most hits. And we got to make sure that we cover, because like Castile has a Diplo, and so does Morocco. So why am I bringing that up? Because that means they roll extra dice. See, they roll extra dice. Okay, so for example, let's do the one we do first matters. This is higher in alphabetical order, so we'll do this one first. Spain is going to roll 2 dice plus 1 more for I'm losing my thought, for their ideas. So they're rolling 3, but so is Morocco. So they're 3 each. And then they score a hit for every port. So for this sea zone, Morocco has 2 hits. Spain has only 1 hit. Well, no, Spain has 2 hits. So they're both, oh no, Spain has a 3rd hit. So Morocco's in trouble, and Spain has a 4th hit. So Spain has 4 hits. Morocco's going to roll 3 dice. Let's just roll their 3 dice and see what happens. They got no more hits. So Spain has 4. Morocco only has the 2. So Morocco loses their ship. All right, and then we got to do this here. So this now becomes Spain has 2 ports. Morocco has just 1 port. So Spain has 2 automatic hits. Morocco has 1. But Morocco gets to roll 3 dice because they have this. Well, Spain also gets to roll 3 dice. So let's roll Morocco's dice first. This doesn't count. All right, so Morocco just rolled 3 hits. And that port makes it a 4th hit. Okay, so Spain is currently at 2 hits. And they also get to roll 3 dice. Spain wins, so Morocco's ship is destroyed. So this is where it gets interesting. On the military chart, they declared war, and then it gets to, can they place a ship to extend the naval bridge? If it triggers a battle, they go to naval battle, right? And then they resolve it, and then they see, hey, can they place their army? And if it's no, can a ship place that has not been placed this turn? And that's the thing. So they get to place a ship 1 time, resolve the naval battle 1 more time, and it goes again. So I'm not going to, well, yeah, let's place a ship. This is the better place for them because Spain has way too many ports over here. So this will give them an extra die. So again, 1, 2, 3. This is Morocco. So they got 2 hits plus 1 for 3. Spain already has 2 hits. They tied. So then, what does it say about ties? I think they re-roll. Ties are re-rolled. All right, so Morocco again. 2 hits, Spain. Ignore. Ignore again. It's an artillery and 2 infantry. So Spain is at 3 hits. Morocco is at 2 plus 1, 3 hits. So it's a tie again, Morocco. They're at 2 hits. Spain is also at 2. Spain wins. So Morocco is not able to cross the sea and get to them. They have an army here, but not there. They just can't do it. So that's an interesting dynamic. And yeah, they gotta basically quit for now. All right, Denmark is going to try to pass. Nope, Denmark has a crap load of stuff to deal with, so they're going to try to defend. And they don't even have enough cubes to get more troops, but their army is going to come on, but it's not going to go into the zone yet. So they get their army placed on the map. Mamluks, they're going to try to pass. Because I don't think they're at war with anybody, are they? No. Okay, they're going to try to pass if they haven't. Yep, they're passing, so they get 2 cubes. Austria has plenty of cubes left, and they're at war. So first is convert. I think they do need to do a convert. Yes, they do. So that gets them 2 points. All right, and then Poland is ready to pass. So they will. They get 1 cube. Muscovy can siege, so they will spend 2 and take the capital. Ottomans, they're going to do a naval. This will put out a ship where they have a port. Which is, they've covered all those areas. Technically, they would go here because they have a port that covers this right here. So they would go in the Adriatic Sea, and then they would kill a pirate, which would be this one. So no trade action. France would... They're currently at war, so they have more than 4 cubes, so they're going to keep drawing. And they drew an unrest. And the unrest would... Oh my gosh, I thought for sure they had unrest somewhere. I mean, I guess technically they have unrest here. Castile is at war, so they're going to draw. They're doing a diplomacy for whatever reason. And it's going to be against these guys. They have the alliance. They lost the marriage. They have 7 cubes. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a 9 cube country. So they add 2 more. And then they're going to roll for marriage. They got to get a 4, 5, or 6 for the marriage. They did. So the marriage happens. And next time they would annex. Now it's to us. We can't do another explore action. I need money. So we're going to try to do a trade. There's a couple things we want to do. We wanted to also convert this. But the money is more important right now. And I can draw 4 cards now. And I have 2 trade power here. And I'm ready to move this guy over. Assuming I get the right card. So here we go. Card 1. Card 2. Card 3. And card 4. So I got 2 English channels and a North America. The North America one you can see with the expanded trade node is 19 ducats if I'm at the top, but I need 6 power. This one I'm going to call out. Let's just see which one's going to get us the most money. English channel, London, Essex, and York. We have all 3 of those. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power. Plus the 3 more from this. I'm easily getting 11 ducats from this one. This one is going to be a lot less, so I'm going to get rid of that. This is the one I'm looking at. Cocoa, North America, Mexico. I don't have any of those towns. And all I have is 2, and I would move this guy over for 3. I have 3 power, which puts me in the middle. I would get 14 ducats, though, because I have the expanded trade node. So I only get 11 because I don't have expanded trade node for him. So I will take this one for 14 ducats. And it's not enough because this one here said I needed 15 ducats. I didn't quite get enough, but I'm going to get 14, which for me is a fortune. And I am going to spend 12 of those 14 to get rid of these 2. So I'm finally out of debt. Thank goodness. And then I still have 2 left over to take. So I'm sitting on 6 ducats to spare. And that trade action, by the way, cost me 1 Diplo cube. And I used this guy to do it. Now, the other nice thing about doing this one is the bots get a chance, and the bots aren't here on either of these nodes, so the bots don't get anything. I could do something to get this development, because this development would be nice to get these bigger sounds out. That would be a nice card to have. If I do a focus, I can do that. But I have a lot to do here. I also have revolutionary ideas to consider. So many things I want to do. But anyways, that was a great move. I'm finally out of debt, which I need to be. My tax income is decent. It'll be able to pay my advisors plus my military. I'm good to go there. They have less than 4 cubes, so they're now going to try to pass. I don't know why that guy is so wobbly, but yes, so they're going to do an event. And the dice roll is their own event, which is not out here. So then it would be if they're at war, they would do their event, but the person they're at war with is not out here. So then they take the first one. So all this money goes away, and This moves over with 2 more. This is moving over with 2 more. They do get a cube for doing that. These 3 move over. He's going to get 1 more, and he's going to get 1 more. So that's what it looks like. Everybody's got money on it now. All right, they're doing heretics. Choose an area with your land and adjacent. Place diverse faiths in the both areas where it's already not diverse faiths must be chosen. If possible, add unrest on any one of your own in the first area and any 2 in the second. Then pay 3 for tolerance idea. Okay, well, Saxony's in a weird spot because they're not next to anybody, but they actually are. Never mind. So they're going to get 1 unrest, and then they're going to put 2 unrest on them. The diverse face doesn't do anything for them, but it does up here. Okay, come on. I got to move the cube out of the way. So that became diverse face for them. So yeah, that's how that's going to work. And yeah, that worked out fine. So unrest in both. The religion changed. And then they may pay 3 to research tolerance, which they will do. They always say yes. So they're going to pay 3. And tolerance should be an admin one, which lets them get rid of an unrest for free. But let's get this over here and figure this out. Is tolerance one of the ones out here? Yes, it is. So Austria is going to gain a point, and they gain 2. Done. Okay, so one of the things we got to really be careful with, Austria, France, Mamluks, and Denmark all get to remove an unrest. Austria, France, Mamluks. So Denmark is 1. So see, we don't have them represented here. And then the Mamluks is another. And so is Austria. Austria's got theirs. So when we do the step right before we roll rebel dice, they get to flip 1 back. And like in the case of Denmark, I mean, you can see that's pretty important. Anyways, whose turn was that? That was... that was Saxony. These guys have passed. The Moroccans are at war. All right, so they got naval. And this is very interesting. I got to actually check. They're going to trigger a combat if they put their ship out. And I just, does the naval action take that into account? Any hostile sea zones adjacent to bots, ports, or ships? Yes. Place ship and then do naval battle. Yeah. That's what they're doing. So they're going to fight again. I don't know if they're going to win, though, because they're just at a disadvantage, because these guys have 2 hits to their 1 before the dice are even rolled. So they're going to roll 1, 2, 3. This is Morocco. So they just tied. So if Castile gets 1 single hit, they win again. And so their ship gets destroyed. And that's it. Nothing else. So now we go to Denmark, and they're going to pay their 1 and move their army into here. And they're going to fight against 6 rebels who do not get a person. You don't shuffle because sometimes you can draw from the discard pile. You don't shuffle and put this here until somebody needs to draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the rebels. I see 3 hits. They do get a cube for winning. The Mamluks are going to try to pass. Oh, they're already passed. So, whoop-de-doo there. Austria is at war. They do not need to convert. So they're going to focus eco. Weird priority, but that's how it works. These guys, I think, passed. Yes. Muscovy is at less than 4 cubes, so they're going to try to pass. So they're going to roll for their event. That's the worst thing to roll. That means they're going to do an opponent's one, which is France. Their own is out there, but they're doing the opponent one. They do gain a cube because of the money situation. And yes, there would be 2 coins added there, 2 coins added there. All right, this one was resolved. Oh, the cardinal would have been killed. This would have been for Saxony. They always just kill the lowest one. All right, claim to throne of Naples. They're choosing B. France loses 2 points, but gains 2 cubes in Naples, and then you gain 2 cubes. So we're making France lose 2 points. They put 2 cubes in Naples, which is a waste of time for them. And then Muscovy will gain 2, which will help them to keep fighting. All right, done. Ottomans. They're still drawing. They're going to do a military. All right, so this gets interesting. Roll against their claims. I don't know if they have a 5 out here. They have a 3. And that's it. So now we're going to roll against their chart. Owner of Constantinople. Owner of Trigger Viste. Oh, I wish I knew my towns over. Oh, here we go. Okay, that works. So they're going to declare war against Trigger Viste. And yeah, they're gonna spend 1 cube to recruit. Their army technically was off map. So now they come on and they go here and they're going to fight against a 2 strength NPR. Take no damage and get a cube. France would pass if they haven't already. So they're going to get a cube for that. Castile is at war. They are doing a military. The difference between Castile and them is they have... Would they spend 2 cubes to do this? Is their army size greater than or equal to double? No, they would. Excuse me. Okay, so then their army would move through the ship, and yes, they would engage the Moroccans on their home turf, and they would get to roll an extra cube if this was true. Let's make sure. There's no Spain. There is a Morocco. So Morocco gets to roll an extra cube, or dice, but they don't. So here we go. 5 for Spain. They rolled 1 infantry. 6 for Morocco. They rolled 3 infantry. Castile. 3 more. Morocco can do at most 4. Looks like they did just 1. Castile definitely finished them off. Morocco can hit them 1 time. And they do. Castile does win, though, and they get a cube. And Morocco's army is kicked off. They have plenty of cubes, though. Okay, so now it gets to us. We could try to do another trade action, and this time use the English Channel to get even more money. But honestly, I want to get this faith thing resolved. So this is 3 ducats and 2 cubes. And we're just going to get rid of this guy. Two cubes. And 1, 2, 3 ducats. I like this card, by the way. As a minor action, gain an alliance with an NPR if your units in their capital area is greater than double their strength. Or gain vassals with unrest on all provinces owned by your NPR ally if your units in their capital area is double. So it's like another, it's sort of like a subjugate. It's a new one that came with the Defying Destiny expansion. So you can just straight up gain an alliance or vassalize on all provinces owned by your NPR ally. So you get the ally if you have an alliance with them. Then as long as you have more strength than them, you got to have more strength than them, and they have an NPR. They have to have a maximum strength of 3. So you can't, like, annex Hungary this way. But you can just straight up annex them. It's very cool. Obviously, you need to have your military in order. So not super glamorous or exciting, but my question is, do we score points for converting? Or is that just a bot thing? Add unrest to one of your affected towns and roll rebel dice. Holy crap, I totally forgot about that. Right, but I get to choose which town, so I'll choose this one. And I guess we're rolling 1 rebel die. Oh, you stinker. All right. Well, that dictates what we're doing next turn. Saxony is going to pass if they haven't already. Done. Morocco is at war, so they're going to defend. And then they're going to spend 2 cubes to recruit. Now they do, because of the way the nature of the action works, is they don't go, they only go here if that was the only province that's owned by them, but they will go elsewhere. So that does give Castile time to start sieging. Denmark will pass. And they do. Mamluks are going to start passing if they haven't already. Yeah, they already passed. Austria is at war. So here at war, they're going to spy. And so they're specifically going to choose Poland because that's who they're at war with. So Poland is going to get some flippity flips like that. Muscovy is back to 4, so they could keep going. And what a horrible card for them. If they would have just drawn a military card, they would have finished Novgorod off. But now they're doing this. They do have 3 cubes here, and an alliance, and a marriage. So they will lose one of those cubes. I mean, arguably, you can say this is good for them. They do gain Tver. And that does give them 3 points. So it's something. Ottomans are currently at war, so they're going to now spend 2 cubes and siege. And arguably, if we were following the thing properly, they would have a claim. Because if they win this war, they can use that claim to resolve the unrest. Okay, France, I believe, has passed. Yes, Castile is getting ready to siege. So they will spend 3 cubes, because that's the maximum they can siege. And they are going to siege this for 2. And then this one for 1. Back to us again. So we do get a chance to do some more actions. The revolutionary ideas, I could try to squeeze this in real quick. I wanted to do the cannons. I don't have any military cubes, so don't want to do that. That's right. We got a rebel town. I forgot. Our decision is made for us, but we have no military power, so I can't move my cubes there. So I have to do this nonsense where I'm going to focus to move 2 cubes over to military, and then I can discard 2 cards, which I don't want to get development. This is like, I wanted to keep this for my advisor because this advisor is going to die. I'm totally okay with getting rid of this card. And then this one here, it's just really nice because it's not that hard to, I mean, 2 cubes is way better than 5, for example. I could get rid of both these cards because you can argue that development is way better than, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to consolidate, and I forgot to move this from the last time, but I have to do this so I can eventually get my move in. I'm not being forced to do my final action yet, so we still have some time. But remember, I have to not only take it, but I have to siege it. That's 2 turns. Saxony should be passed. Persia is passed. Then we got Morocco, who's going to defend. And spend 2 more. I'm sorry, they don't need to spend 2 more. They're going to defend and move in. Battle ensues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Castile. I see just 1 hit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 3 hits. Castile is wiped. Morocco gains a cube. Denmark is probably passed by now. They are. The Mamluks have passed. Austria is at war. There's what we were looking for. Military. So their army is now going to go. Yeah, they're going to go face Poland. So let's check one more time. Then neither of them have the military advantage, so it's 5 and 5. So here we go. Austria first. Poland. Austria. Poland. This is where Saxony fighting them actually helped. I think that even though they passed, because they're at war, they will have a chance to come back and get their towns? I can't remember. Like, they've already passed. Oh, look at this. Bots do not remove any of their marriages. I didn't know that. I've been playing this for how many hours and never knew that. So that's interesting. That means that I'm going to put some marriages back on. Castile wouldn't have lost this marriage, for example. And that marriage would be true. And I know they had a marriage with him. No, they had a marriage with somebody else. Oh, it was Bohemia. Well, that's gone. All right, we'll just leave it be. Look at this. All right, well, they're passed, so I don't think they do anything. And then Muscovy, because they did the diplomacy, they're now moving towards passing. And they do. Ottomans. They're at war, so they're going to draw. They have a convert. Yeah, they're going to do the convert. So that cost them 1 cube. And they get 2 points. France has passed. Castile is less than 4 cubes. Oh my goodness, they're passing. That means I only get 1 action. So my 1 action, I am going to win this war. Or at least I think I will. I only have 2 guys, so maybe I won't. I'm going to move my army in and face the one. I do win, so I do get a cube back. The problem is I'm not going to be able to siege it. So I'm in trouble there. I'm going to lose some points. Pass, pass. These guys are going to siege back. 1, 2, 3. So they're going to kick Castile out. They're passed. They're going to siege. 1, 2, 3. This army's off the map. They've already passed. They passed. The Ottomans. So they're doing a military action, but there's nothing to do. They're not going to declare war on someone else. So I think what they do is they just get a point. Let's make sure, but so they're at war, yes. Army maps on the board, yes. Can they siege? No. Is there hostile units? No. No. And then, yeah, they just end turn. So they don't even do anything. They passed. They're the ones that passed, and yeah, we're done. So, first thing we do is we remove truces. There's one between myself and France. And France was technically at war, so they should not have passed when they did. So that was my mistake. They're at war with Burgundy. Oh, that would have prolonged the game a little bit longer, I think. They would have for sure done at least 1 more action. Yeah, they had a military. They might have done several more actions, in fact. Because they would have moved here and then fought 1, 2, 3, 4 more. And then gained a cube for that. I really screwed the pooch on that one. They've been passed for several rounds now, so I'm going to give them 1 more action where they sieged. And I think there's only 2 provinces they can siege. Like that. Okay. Now getting back to regular here. NPR invasions. So we got to take some time. Burgundy has... Well, first of all, they would have attacked with a lot more. They have vassals. So they would have added 1, Well, at least one more. This would have been 1.5. And I occupied the wrong ones. It's supposed to be this one and this one. So this would have been 1, 2, 3 strength, and actually 3.5. But so we'll roll one more. It hurts him, but so now that we resolved that, the NPR invasion would be, see, they have 2, 3, 4. They have 5 strength still. So they would invade adjacent, which would be this one, which is where the army is. And they would draw for a general. And there isn't one. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They did 2 hits, but it's not enough. They could have theoretically won that battle and caused some damage, but it didn't quite work. So that's done. We're covered here. There's not an NPR war going on there. This NPR, Bohemia, would invade here, except Austria's got it covered. So I'm going to say no, they don't invade. And then there would be 2 that would invade here. And unfortunately, they would go there. So that's going to be interesting, because with the peace resolution, they're not going to get to siege it down before the peace happens. These guys are fully conquered. And I think that covers it. So yeah, this would happen because the army's down here, not up there. That is the drawback of them coming in here first. So let's make sure that the should have been further up here. Page 36. I know we can skip all this. This is just the conditions. In the selected area, add unrest to 2 towns belonging to players at war with the NPR. Place NPR units there equal to half the current NPR strength. Resolve battle immediately if there's military units. All right, so first thing I did wrong is they were strength 2, but only 1 rebel appears. Okay. I think that covers everything, at least from that perspective. Oh, here we go. Rebel siege or move. So that does happen before peace. Yeah, so that's going to be a problem. not for France, but for Russia. So Russia's going to lose one of its occupados. All right, so now we do peace resolution. So let's start with Russia. They have a partial victory. So they can do what's called keep the map. So Russia is going to get these two. And then they would discard the claim. And the 2 unrest would flip back. It doesn't matter what this guy's doing. Now, Russia cannot take the capital. That's the key thing. So this has to be given back. But they either get 10 ducats or they take equivalent in territory. So this is the part where, I mean, money doesn't do Russia any good. So they would take 2 territory equal to the capital, 2 tax value. So would it be here or would it be these 2? Great question. I don't know the right answer to that. So I'm going to assume that it's this one and one of these. And they're going to, of course, be rebel side up. And then now they're at truce. Because they definitely have to give back the capital. That's just how it works. Now with Poland, they're at war with multiple people here. So they would have a truce with Saxony and with Austria. But Austria took 3 of their provinces. And so, yes, they're going to lose those provinces. Austria doesn't have any claims here, so those stay on the rebel side up. Poland now has a truce with Bohemia and with Saxony and with Austria. They do lose those 3. Uh-oh. So Poland just got a lot weaker, which typically happens with Poland games. If they can't absorb Lithuania, they become weak fast. And that pretty much happens here. So there's no lost points or anything. I guess you could argue that there's a white piece between them and Saxony, because these are all separate wars. They weren't allies with each other. They were just allies with... but see, he defended the HRE, so he actually goes up another level, which is insane. But it does happen. All right, so we do all that, and these 2 would lose a point. So Poland is going to go to -3 points. And they go down a point. All right, that was a complicated war, but I think we resolved it properly. This one's a simple one. They don't even do a truce anymore. And they're going to take the claim back and flippity flip, and they just get the territory. So done for them. These 2, it's going to be a white piece, and they're both going to lose a point. They definitely took some blows at each other, but at the end of the day, it's just a white piece. So they lose 1, and they lose 1. That was an interesting war, though. I was curious, like with all the ships being destroyed, Morocco got kicked out of a bunch of spots because of that. And France, we got to deal with their situation. So similar deal. They have the capital. They're going to have to give the capital back. So this is not going to get retained. But they do get compensated for it. So France is going to get this one and these two. They will remove this claim to flip those. Now that's what they occupied. Now they get to, because they get to ransom the capital, France is going to take these two. They're not going to take the vassals. So they do bring back a big city, but they get to put out 2 smaller ones. And that is still going to be very lucrative for them. All right, I think that adequately resolves the France issue. And France, of course, is doing this power struggle thing very well. Austria needs to do something down here because of the same issue. And I think I probably screwed them up because I put this claim down here when I think that they were supposed to instantly just declare war. I think I was doing the military action wrong at the beginning of the game for that reason. All right, so we are, I think, caught up on all the peace resolutions. Then we do prestige penalties. I definitely have one, right? Because I have this. So I lose a point wherever I am. And does anybody else have rebels? They don't. I think it's just me who loses points there. Interregnum, I'm the only one that could have that. I don't. Religious dissent is painful. Like this is diverse faiths. Here we have Orthodox, so one of these is going to flip. They always have, well, no, that's Orthodox. Yeah, because they're Catholic. And then we come up here. They're okay. Nope, they got the diverse faith token. So that flips. They got diverse faiths in 2 of them, but only one's going to flip. Everything's already flipped. So I don't think anything happens there. Obviously, this would cause something to flip. But it doesn't. Austria got rid of its diverse faiths. They have one, so they flip one. There's one here. This is coming off the board. They have diverse faiths, so there's a flip. They're good. We're good. We covered ours. Now, we do the gain remove unrest step. So this is us now. Obviously, I can't deal with this, but I can remove that one. So we at least don't have to worry about liberating a town. Okay, and then the way it's going to work is it's brown, pink, blue, green, and white. So for example, green, white, blue, brown, and pink. Why do they get to do that? Because they have administrative ideas. So they get to remove one unrest. So that's all because of this. And we get to do it because we had high stability. So now we roll rebel dice for everybody. We're going to resolve that. And then we'll do the income and everything for the bots and then ourselves, then we'll be done. So I actually don't roll rebel dice. This is just in rebel control right now. So it's just something I got to deal with next turn. They're already actually conquered. I just have to siege it. So we're good to go there. France has 2 rebel dice. So they lose a cube, but one of them actually flips. And then let's do Castile. They have 3. Don't count. Oh, that was a good roll for Castile. So 2 of them flip. And they lost a cube. Morocco is looking good. So I'm just trying to sweep across the map. We got 1 for Saxony. Nothing happens. Austria's good. Let's go along the bottom here. Pink is good. Persia has 1. Persia loses a cube. Ottomans, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they do have a rebellion, and they lose a cube. All right, so the rebellion always goes in the highest tax area. Or actually, it always goes where they have an army. This army, though, because they have peace, would go off the map. So here's where it gets tricky. This is a 5 province, so it would go here. And oh my gosh, this means this gets liberated. So Constantinople is back on the board. This is where it's so deadly for the bots. They don't keep an army on the board, so that happens. This would have been liberated too if it was up here. And what they have to do is they have to put a core down. Now, there is an action that causes them to put cores down. And I might be screwing up a bit here. The action that does that is it might be the remove unrest. See, they have to have no unrest. If they have none at all, then they put a core down. So I got to remember that, because sometimes I skip over, hey, they have no unrest, let's do the next action. But they will put a core down if they have no unrest. So like Persia might have had an opportunity to put a core down. I don't know if these guys ever had 0 unrest. So Poland, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, they lose a cube, but 2 of them flip back over. So we're going to flip these 2. All right, that works. And then I'm looking at Russia. They have 2. They lose a cube. And one of them flips over. It would be this one. Then Denmark. They have at least 5. Bots are restricted to 5. They have 2 rebellions, this, and they lose a cube. All right, there's a lot going on with Denmark here. Okay, the 2, first of all, they get to restore 1. It would be the highest tax. Well, there's 3 here, 3 here. They restore 1. Then they have 2 rebellions, and I would love to say it's here, right? Because then those get liberated. But it just doesn't happen. The rebellions are actually going to be here where their army is. And so what it does is it kills 2 of their armies. They don't even roll. It just kills 2. And actually their army wouldn't be there because, again, they're at peace. Never mind. So those are core provinces, though. So they don't get liberated. But that does happen. Okay, I think I covered everybody. I mean, I really should go in player order so I make sure I don't miss people, but I'm just trying to be a little quicker about this. All right, so now we do the income and stuff. So let's, first of all, let's resolve this. So the Castile is clearly the papal controller. So Castile will score 1, 2, 3 points, and they will have 1 extra cube when we do the income step. Then we're going to roll for the Imperial. A 6 is an automatic bump up. This guy is out of control. He moves all the way up to the top. Look at him. He's getting 3 extra cubes, and he scores a point. My goodness. So Austria gets a point, and we'll go ahead and toss all these in here. And yeah, he's getting 3 extra cubes for that. That's really good. All right, let's do this. Two of them go back. Their manpower is now 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That hasn't changed. Come on. Done. $14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like so. Castile. Eight, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I remember to do France? I did not. All right, then we go to here. I need to pause. All right. Manpower is still 2. I think I'm supposed to have a 3rd. I don't know where that thing went. Like, that's supposed to be there somewhere. But anyways, the manpower is still 3. That's been their biggest issue so far, is the low manpower. And they're not doing enough diplomacy actions to absorb some territory. They're sort of stagnant, but that unrest thing that happened to them in Era 1 was a big deal. This is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they expanded enough to add 2 more manpower. That's pretty cool. Or add some more cubes.
I don't remember if I shuffled, but then these guys have 4 manpower, and then that makes a 5th, so they don't change. And there's their 7 cubes. So here you can see they have 10 manpower, 11, 12, 13. So this is 5 plus 7 is 12. So they get 1 more for 13. All right, and then these guys have 11. So there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then here's 6 cubes. Well, there's 5. There's 7. And then these 4. I have 8. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But then they add, I mean, they're all the way up to plus 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they have a whole bunch of manpower now because of their Imperial authority. That's just crazy cray. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they also have a whole bunch of cubes. And then we're here. It goes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then they have 5 manpower, so they actually lose 1. And then these guys are at the full 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then these go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. All right, that's the income for all the bots. So now let's do ours. So we get 12 plus 6. We're getting 18 ducats of tax. And then this makes it 20. Then 19, 17. And then that reduces it to 13. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So we get 6 ducats of income, which I'm going to keep out because that's my cards I'm going to buy. So we just broke even then in that regard. So then I get 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need a lot of Diplo cubes. And then 1, and it's just 2. Now I could have put him down. I'll just do 2 for now. Let's let him die and then just play the card. Okay, so that worked out. Oh, and then these 3 become available because it's minimum of 3, maximum of 6, and it's half. But it's always minimum of 3. So this 2 ducats here saved us to break even. We have 3 ducats to our name with no debt. And get rid of this cube. So I think we positioned ourselves well. Now we can, oh, and by the way, we get 2 colonists. So we're in position to do some damage. Next turn, of course. And hold on a second. Something really... These two were supposed to do an event. What did I do? I did one more action with them, didn't I? Or I did my action and then I just stopped. So we have two events that we're supposed to do, but then there's a third one. Man, how did I screw up so badly? 3 of these cards were supposed to have been played. I can tell you that Austria and Ottomans are 2 of them. But, like, who's the third one? Morocco did theirs, right? Yeah, they were the first one because they scored a whole bunch of points. So who didn't do... How did I screw this up so badly? Man, that was a huge mental mistake on my part. Somebody should not have passed, and they should have done the event. I'm wondering, like, Muscovy, I think, did an event. Did they not? Castile, I don't remember them doing an event. Oh my goodness. We could have gotten some more actions in. Well, I'm not going to retcon the action thing because I can't remember who did what. This was a France card. Somebody did the bottom half. That was Moscow. This was Saxony. Because they hurt Denmark with it. This was Castile. Because they did the Iberian one. This was not Denmark. This was like Persia or whatever. This is the one Denmark did. This one was just some carryover, so it doesn't even belong there. This was the Mamluks. They did their own. And then this one was Tier 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we could do this. So this was the Mamluks. So that would be here. Denmark is there. We know for sure that this was Castile, which is here. France did not do this one. This one was Denmark. I'm sorry, Saxony. So the 3 at the bottom below me are covered. Castile's covered. I am pretty sure this was Moscow. So we have Persia and Poland that didn't do one. Or Persia was one of the first ones to pass. They drew an event right away. So, did I just forget to resolve the event for them? I don't think that's the case. But like Denmark had a chance to do this one and didn't, because I remember I was complaining about that. So Denmark, I mean, you can see they didn't pass until near the end, but that would mean Poland. I think Persia was supposed to do an event, and I never actually did the event. All right, so we will do one for Persia. One of these is Persia, and then the other 2 is Austria and Ottomans. My goodness, I apologize so much. So, for example, Persia would get they're all going to get a cube, because there's money on these. So we will do it in that order. We're going to do Persia, then Ottomans, and then Austria last. So here we go. We're going to roll for Persia. they're doing the third one, which is this one. So I'm just going to take care of the rolls now. Then we're going to do Ottomans. They rolled a 5, which is their own. So then they would take the first one. And then Austria rolled a 1. So they would take this one, and this one never gets chosen. So the circles would have died, right? So both of these guys would have died. Oh boy. So that one and that one. So I would have placed this one and this one. The cost would have been the same. They just inverted. So one of these cubes would have moved over to here. So this would be my state with everybody healthy. Yeah. So circles are dying, and then triangles are dying. So that means I already have one hit on both of these guys. But thank goodness we have 3 health points because we knew that was going to be the case here. There's only one DNPR and it's green, so we don't have to worry about that. This would have caused me to lose a colonist. So that's gone. And then this would be a rebel dice. We're not going to do it. It's too complicated now. This would mean somebody loses vassals. Nobody has any. And then this would have caused the power struggle to become active. And that means that in between rounds, we would have resolved this. So we'll take care of that in a second. So let's start with this. This is Persia. They would choose A. Gain 2 cubes in a Hungarian area and a royal marriage and alliance with Hungary. What a bizarre thing for them to do. And these cubes are looking a lot like Austria's cubes, so I'm going to keep them down here. That's the one problem with Lavender, but I never expected them to put cubes all the way up here. It's a ridiculous thing to do. I'm half tempted to just give them a cube. I mean, if they ever were to go to war with these guys, since they're adjacent, they would actually help. So it's like, you can't quite, do that. All right, this one is the Ottomans. So this is, they're choosing A. Add 1 to 3 in any Catholic areas. For each one, the province owner gains 5 ducats. Papal controller gains 3. Add diverse faith. So let's roll to see who they're going to target. So they're targeting highest tax base, which I think is still these guys. I mean, they're at 21, 20, 25. I mean, France is in good shape too. Well, that's 27. Yeah, they're choosing France. So they would, they would do 1, 2, 3. And then France would get 15 ducats, which is 2 cubes. And then 9 ducats to Castile, which would be 1 cube. That's the best way to resolve that. And then diverse faiths to each area. That's the part that hurts France the most. That one already has it. Okay, and then Austria here. If you have 1 or more cardinals, you may pay 1 to gain a claim in 2 distant areas adjacent to one of your claims, towns, or ships. Remove any claims already located in areas for each. All right, so they don't. So we're just going to give them a cube because nothing affects them. But it says other PRs with one or more cardinals. Oh man, we have no cardinals, do we? Oh, that hurts. May then pay 1 to gain a claim in a distant area. Yeah, that doesn't affect anybody. I'm the only one that could have benefited from it, but I don't have a cardinal. All right, so yeah, my apologies there. I don't know how I messed that up so badly. It was, you know what it was, when we had one more action left, I wasn't paying attention to who needed to do an event. And the Persia one, they were the very first person, I think, to draw an event, and I'm not sure that I actually ever did that. Anyways, we're going to end it here, and then we'll start the next round. Thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.